Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day, my friends. Gord, you're hurting happy. It is past hump day. It's Thursday. This has been a long week. Y'all know what I've been through this week. But I'm here with y'all, and we're going to have a good video today. I've planned it out pretty good, I think, and I'm doing the best I can. Let's put the current temperature up there. It is -7. Feels like -10 outside. We had a good skiff of snow overnight again. It is a beautiful day outside. But with all this sickness, you're all right. I shouldn't be out on my porch. I should take a little more time. Nice background. Just bring you some Christmas stuff. So, you've seen the title. I haven't even made it up yet, but it's going to be something to do with I have a story about a past Christmas of ours. A very moving Christmas when my kids were quite young and when we were in a lot of trouble. But first, a Christmas montage. I'm going to put up a video right now that Google made. This is not my montage. It's something Google made for me with Google Photos. So I'm leaving the Google Photos sign at the end of it because, heck, they deserve a thumbs up too. They do. Some great movies come out of that. So let's throw it up to that first, see some Christmas of past, and then your hippie's going to talk about a Christmas of the past. I hope you liked that. I enjoyed that. I enjoy looking back. Before I go on with the updates, I've got young Pasha over there. You might hear him cough every once in a while. He's home from school. He's got my cold in the early stages. I've got my cold in the late stages, and young Gordy is just getting over it, I think. So it's been a interesting week. No fever, just really bad sinuses, really bad chest. Let's get on with this story. I need to set the parameters for you. It was, I'm trying to think of the year, 1988. It was 88 or 80. It would have been 1989. I had left CP Rail because I had gotten tired of CP a couple of years before that. I know I've worked for CP since 1978, but there was about a 3-4 year window where I went back to school. But I went back to school after I broke my neck driving for a living. So all that kind of happened preceding this. So here I was, I was a year since my damaged neck. I had been put back to school. I had just been enrolled in Grant MacEwan University. I was busy as could be. I had very little income. And the kids at that time, because of all the things that had gone on in my life, were living with their mother. We lived half a block away from each other, and I spent most of my time over at their house looking after them while their mother was away. I won't get into that. But what was happening that year was Christmas for both her and me. So therefore, for our kids overall, was looking very bleak. We did get a tree up, and we really didn't think we were going to have many presents at all. And it was, yes, it was the night before Christmas. And all through our house, every creature was stirring. And I don't have a rhyme except mouse. Then, what to our wondering ears should happen but a knock at the door. What's that? My oldest daughter, who at that time would have been 8 or 9 years old, in 1989 she would have been 9 years old, just turned 9, she went to the door and she started crying. And she called Dad. Mom was home too. And she called Dad. We were at her mom's place. She called me and said, "You gotta come here, you gotta come here." And I come to the door, and there's 3 great big garbage bags. Really big black or green garbage bags. And there's nobody there. I said, "What are these?" She says, "I don't know. Some guy just dropped them off, and Daddy, he looked like Jesus." I still get very emotional about this. And when I quizzed her, it was a guy with long hair and a beard like this, and a Santa hat on. So I'm very sure it was something to do with Santa's Anonymous. But we brought all this stuff in, and it was all wrapped gifts. Santa's Anonymous, at least then, didn't wrap gifts. And they weren't marked boy or girl. They were, I can't remember if it's a false memory that they were actually marked with the names. But if they weren't marked with the names, they were marked older sister, younger sister, boy, Dad, Mom. I can't remember for sure. But it wasn't a few gifts. I can't even count how many, and they were wonderful gifts. Beautiful toys for my kids, new clothes for my kids. These things weren't from thrift shops. A suit for me, a 3-piece suit. I had just started university. Sometimes I needed it. I was in a business program, my Bachelor of Commerce. So, I mean, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. We sat there opening those presents and crying our eyes out and thanking God. At that time, I was very, very believing in some sort of higher power. I'm not going to get into it now. I still have spirituality, so let's leave it there. That is not the point of this. The point of this is I told my kids, somewhere, somehow, some way, somebody looks after you. And is it a higher power? Is it karma? Is it the universe and chaos theory coming together? Who knows? But somehow, somebody decided that this Christmas was not going to be one of want. It was going to be one to grow ourselves. And since then, I've always contributed gifts to Santa's Anonymous. I have always done my best to be charitable at this time of the year, because somebody whom I don't know or I do know, took their time to not just make my family better. They took a lot of time. They wrapped, they arranged it, they got it to me on time. Everything fit. Whoever did this, if I could ever reach out to you, it changed the direction of our lives of our kids' lives. And it was one of the most beautiful Christmases, even though I was divorced and sitting in my ex-wife's house with my kids who still wanted to live with me. And and this was again just a temporary time. They did end up living with me only a few months later. But what a wonderful, beautiful time that was. And I would love to go back to that night and feel that feeling again when she said, "Dad, I think it was Jesus." It still touches me so deeply. I hope you enjoyed that. Friends, it's now time for little known facts. I've got a couple of interesting ones. I've started, when I can, reading these ahead of time so I can think about how I want to express them to you and maybe have a little bit of editing to make it fun. All dogs are banned from the Antarctica since April of 1994. This ban was made because of concern that dogs might spread disease to the seals. Antarctica is pretty protected. They want you to even cover up your footprints. They don't want footprints. They want it pristine. This is kind of gross. Hart Island is the final burial place to over 1 million of New York City's unclaimed bodies, and thought to be the largest government-sponsored mass grave on Earth. Weird. And in Slovakia, and it's not just in Slovakia, this happens a lot through Eastern Europe, they have Christmas carp that live in the family bathtub for a few days before they're eaten. And just to give you a little background on that, I've spent Christmas in Eastern Europe, and carp is a huge meal there. Full of bones, difficult to eat, but they all just enjoy it with a whole bunch of liquor. So, friends, here we are at the end, and I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've thumbs up, and I hope you've subscribed. I'll be back tomorrow with more. Peace and cheers, love and harmony.